Hi everyone, my name is Hannah. I go by Microbiologist Makes here on YouTube as well as over on Instagram. This is a space where I like to talk about my crafty endeavors, mostly cross stitch, some crochet, occasionally knitting, although my knitting bug has kind of gone out the window lately, so none of that this episode. But I'll be talking about everything I did in the month of August 2023 today, so this is Flosstube number 8. Quick side note, I'm approaching 1,000 subscribers, which is incredible, and I owe it all to all of you lovely people who have supported me so far in this journey, liking, commenting, subscribing, shouting me out on other platforms. I'm just so appreciative, and I've had so much fun so far. So I hope to maybe reach that milestone by my next Flosstube video, and in that case, I'll have a giveaway coming up for you. So that would be my first giveaway as well. Super excited. So my thumbnail gave it away, and I thought I would be more secretive maybe, but you just have to have it as your screen grab in this case. So I didn't talk about this last time in hopes or in fear that I would not reach my goal, but I was at 80% on the Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery the last time we talked, and I really wanted to knock that one off the whip list before September rolled around. So 20% in a month is a lot of stitching, but I'm very happy to say that I met that goal. And it is done. So this took 2 years in the making. I started this in 2021, not with the Sal. The Sal also started in 2021. I started in like May instead of January. But yeah, she's done. I stitched this on 40 count Marbled Bunny by Extra Designs in the DMC colors 8 and 3773. And yeah, I can't believe it. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with myself now. It's like this has been every day. I've been stitching a little on this every day this month just to get it done. And yeah, now I'm like, everything's wide open. I can do what I want. But yeah, I think the last time we talked, I was rounding the corner on the bottom here. So I finished those other 2 medallions in the center with the hearts and the hands, that bird basket, which was, look at all those little one stitch. That was not a good time. It's pretty, but yeah, not fun. And then I put in my initials, and I chose the house for the center, which I'm not sure if it's a house or a church or if that's a steeple or a chimney, but I thought it was cute. So yeah, one more look. I'm so happy with this. I'm gonna wait until there's a framing sale at Michael's. I'll frame it myself, but I'll have them make a frame for me. And yeah, I'm not sure if I want like I was thinking like a big chunky, sort of like a molding-esque type of frame that maybe white. I'm not sure. We'll see. Can't stop looking at it. So this is my biggest finish in a long time. I feel like most of my whips are huge, so you don't get those finishes, and when you do, they're extra special. So I went a little off script, I guess, showing that first, but that was an FO instead of my FFOs, finished objects versus fully finished objects. I had 2 FFOs this month. This one, I think I showed you the FO last time, of Lady Goose by Mamawitchxstitch. She is stitched on a piece of 28 count even weave that I dyed myself with Rit dye, and then the called for DMC pattern Lady Goose by Mamawitchxstitch. And I found this frame that has sort of like it's like a velvety detail, so I just popped her in there, and I think it works out really well. So there's some French knots in the mushrooms, and then her bonnet, and then just some long stitches for the stem of the cherries. Otherwise, cross stitch. It was fun. And then my other one is with the Bittersweet Blooms by Brenda Gervais, with that needle and thread. And I stitched I kind of went off script for this one. So this is on 46 count because I wanted it to fit on this wooden piece that I'm about to show you. And I had to then add like a border at the bottom for it to fit on this piece. So I charted out like a little stem, and yeah, I'll just show you. I charted out this little stem and then added a little black button just to tie in the black of the birds with the black of this wood. So yeah, it's like tiny stitches, but honestly I don't think 46 count is that much different than stitching on 40 count, so it was doable. And this is just like a Witchelt 46, I believe. I'll put in the details, but it's not hand dyed, so also helps. There's no extra shrinkage there. And I got this frame from the Halloween section at Michael's last year. And I haven't seen it yet this year, but I also haven't been to Michael's in a little bit, so maybe they put this out and you can go snag it, but I thought it looked really cute, this. So those are my FFOs, finishes. Yeah, it's very monumentous month in that department. And then new starts. I had one this was for camp, the cross stitch camp which is hosted by Sherry of Colorado Cross Stitcher. The prompt was to stitch something new to you, so like new fabric, new like threads you've never used before, new designer or designer that you've never stitched anything from before. And for me that was Tiny Modernist. I've had a lot of Tiny Modernist patterns in my stash, but I just have never gotten around to it. So I chose Night Signs, and I'm going to eventually stitch all 4 of these, but I started with just the one in the top left corner, and I'm almost done. I think I can finish this up tonight. I'm like 300 stitches away, so there's like some little mushrooms in the corner here, and a little snail. He's so cute. And that's pretty much it. I did a color and cotton conversion with this. This is stitched on 32 count slate by Fabrics by Stephanie. And the colors I used, I can just run through them quickly. Turmeric by Color and Cotton, Thumper, Wren, Chai, Ravenna, and then I stuck with one of the DMCs, the gray, and then I pulled a different DMC for the like a sort of lavender color in the border, which is 3042. So I love using my Color and Cotton whenever I can. So, and yeah, I think that'll be done it's supposed to be done within the month, and it was not my focus with Fruits of Plenty, but that's okay. I do have a fair number of whips, considering. I didn't get a whole lot of progress on them, but I mean, a few stitches here and there. So the first is A Perfect World, which I took all my projects out of their bag, so I don't have the charts with me, which wasn't super smart, was it? So I'll have to put in a picture. This is A Perfect World by the Scarlett House, and I'm stitching this on 46 count Purely Primitive by Silk Weaver. And I started this probably in, my birthday of 2021. So April of 2021. And it was a very, very sad start. The last time I worked on this, I only had that little black smudge in the corner done before. And this border is like all full coverage at the bottom. So I needed to get on that. And so I filled in like there's 2 shades of green actually in the vines. And then I started outlining the flowers. And eventually all that background I'll have to return to the DMC 310 to fill that in. But yeah, I was happy to get some more stitches in this. Felt kind of bad that it was not very far along prior to this. So, and I'm pulling Color and Cottons here and there. So yeah, nothing set in stone. But if you're curious, you can feel free to message me and I can tell you what I'm using. It will just likely change. And the next one, this is was a stitch along from Stickideen von der Wiehenburg. Completely butchered that pronunciation. And and it's called the Winter Quaker Mystery Cell. I can never find a picture of this. There used to be a Facebook group where people would have like their finished pieces, and you could then get the, get an idea of what it would look like, but can't find that for some reason. And I don't know if it's still in existence. So you just have to imagine what it's going to look like, I guess, based on what I have. I'm almost done. I have I have 2.5 parts left, but it's like one of those projects where you have to, I think as Lindy Stitches called it, it's your cough syrup projects. Something that you want to get done for the finish, but like, it's like medicine to get it down. Yeah, it's just not the most enjoyable thing for me to work on. I don't know why. I just burnt myself out on white snowflakes, I guess. I don't know. But here's where we are. I tried to iron this to the best of my ability. Just some of those creases are going to be hard to get out, I think. But I have 2.5 parts left. And it's a lot of stitching though. There's some woodland animals that you fill in like in between the snowflakes, but I only have the fox in right now. There's a moose and a bunny, and I just wasn't crazy about how they were looking, so I have to rechart those, I think. And then the word winter is spelled out in the center there in Smyrna crosses eventually. I just haven't put those in so they wouldn't get smushed by my Q snap. I'm hopeful that maybe I can like pick up where I left off, finish the other remaining half part in the month of September, and then in October and November I can finish those other 2 parts and then have this done by winter. Probably not framed, but have it done because it's been languishing for a long time. I started this January of 2021, so it just needs to go. And okay, the next one is settling in, my full coverage project. I probably got 100 stitches in on this, so it's not really worth showing, but I didn't show it last month, so just pretend that I've made so much progress here. But I'm working on the second page. There's like 40 pages, and I am back at it with all those shades of brown. So I did 100 stitches. Better than nothing, I guess, is my mantra this month. Yeah, it's shaping up pretty well, I think. This is on 28 count, 1/1, and I'm using all the called for DMCs. This is an Artisty pattern, charted by Paine Free Crafts. Artist is Chris Dunn. And I don't think I mentioned, this is 40 count Woodland Newcastle linen. And I'm using DMC, just Blanc for the snowflakes, and then a Color and Cottons for the green. Only doing these videos once a month, I get very out of practice, apparently. Don't remember my lines. My next one is Autumn Town by, I don't know why I can never remember, Autumn Lane Stitchery. And this one I'm at like 40% on. I'd love to finish it this year, but I don't think that is going to happen. I am stitching this on a 28 count that I dyed myself with Rit dye. I think it was just green apple Rit dye, because I think the called for fabric is like Mountain Air fabrics possibly, but it was in the height of the pandemic and you could not get that linen very easily. So I just dyed it myself. I'm using called for DMCs for the most part. I think I toned down the orange of the pumpkins, and I'm using Color and Cottons for the trees, except for that really variegated one, which is a silk, the called for silk. I think it's Apricot Lane. I'm not sure who the dyer is, but yeah, I worked more on building these houses over here. I think I put in this tree. Actually, I think I'll have put in a progress picture or before picture, because I actually thought to do that this time. Maybe I'll do that for more projects moving forward. I was just like randomly sat down to stitch this one night and I was like, oh, I should take a before. So we have that. Pretend that I am kind of a seasoned floss tuber. So I always like seeing the before and afters. So maybe I will have already shown that, I'm sure. All right, second to last whip is the Sleeping Fox by Needle Lot Designs. This is another dyed by me linen, which I don't actually dye my fabric that often. It just seems to be like all of those projects are showing up in today's lineup. But this is Sleeping Fox, and I didn't do a whole lot on this, maybe 500 stitches. I put in the fox, I think, since the last time we talked. I added the green. I didn't have DMC 3862, so I had to run out to the store after work today to get that so I can work on this again tonight, maybe. I'm like overcommitting myself. I have to finish my cross-stitch camp project first, and then I can work on this. My last WIP I thought could possibly be a finish. This is Greenhouse of Oddities. I am caught up now, or I was caught up right before the last part hit, and then I didn't finish that part like within a week, like many people did. I'm a little behind. The tree, it's like a huge tree. It's like an exploding tree or something. Yeah, and because we're ending the SAL with a bang, but it is a lot of confetti, or just in different shades of green, so I've been a little slow. And this is stitched on anthracite by Extra Designs, so I'm working on that tree. I'm not too far away from a finish there, but yeah, I just have to fill in that more, and then the trunk is not filled in. But since the last time we talked, we had the option of putting in one of two scientists, so it was George Washington Carver or Charles Darwin. I went with Darwin, despite being at Iowa State. I went with Darwin just because it made more sense for him to be in this sort of setting versus Carver being in, agriculture versus, just being around weird, creepy plants. I don't know. That was my reasoning. And also, there's this one quote it's in one of his journals that I really relate to. It said something about, just him bemoaning the fact that he's like had a bad science day, and he was complaining about how stupid he is. I feel that on many levels. So I can relate. And so I put him in, and I think I actually have those two plants above him I need to put the back stitch in. So I lied. I have a little bit more than just this last part to do, but I think that'll be a finish very soon. And I actually have a frame picked out. I found this piece, and I think I can make it work. It has sort of a golden like brassy color. I don't know, maybe I'll hold it up one more time. Let me know if you think I should paint that black or if you think gold would work. I think gold might work, add some interest. Or I can always paint it. We'll see. So those are all of my WIPs. Let me consult my notes here. I will now move into, let's talk about plans actually. So the Back to School Sale, which is hosted by Lauren, New Hampshire Stitcher. Love her channel. She is hosting the Back to School Sale. The idea is to start this huge project, kit it up, just like we used to go back to school shopping, pick out all these new things, special things. So to do that for a new cross-stitch project, and one that is especially ginormous. So my choice for this, I was being a little secretive last time, but I had it in mind, and I haven't changed my mind yet, so we'll just announce it here. I'm going to do Exquisite Lace by Works by ABC. And I ordered some fabric from Kitten Stitcher, and it came in last week. And it is 40 count seaweed. And like, are you ready? Oh, it's like green to brown to golden, and then like almost black, gray. It's incredible. This is 40 count, so I'm hoping it's not too dark. It doesn't look like it'll be. And I thought the lace pattern would just, you know, pop on this. So I'm so excited. I have some DMCs pulled. I thought about doing an overdyed cotton, but then I thought maybe that would just detract from this awesome modeling. But so I have some DMC colors pulled. They're very similar, so I don't even know if it, like the differences will pick up on camera. But I have DMC 644. It's like, I wanted like that green tone to come in. I didn't want like straight up white here. 642, I'm thinking might be too dark. 644 looks a little like the lightest shade I have, I think. And then 613, maybe that's the lightest. I don't know. I think I might do a little test square and go from there. But that starts on Friday, September 1st. So I've been loving to see what other people are gonna start. I went back and forth. I have the farms of Hawk Run Hollow. I was also thinking about that, but I think I'm gonna go with this. So haven't changed my mind in the last 24 hours. So we're going with that. All right, other plans I think I talked about along the way. I want to finish Greenhouse of Oddities for sure. That one pattern of night signs, and probably start another, just so that's like a continual whip until I have all 4 of those done. I want to make those into little pillows. I think my next focus on a finish, I kind of like doing that where I just did like a small amount of stitches on, or not so small some days, let's be honest, of Fruits of Plenty. Like I had Fruits of Plenty, just having like a focus project. Which Autumn Town would be a good choice for that, I think. Just moving into the fall season. I don't know, we'll see. And then maybe like staying in the line of cross-stitch related things, I'll talk about my haul. So one other piece of haul this month was I have always wanted to try Fox and Rabbit's. Oh, did I mention Seaweed is by Fox and Rabbit? It is. It's Fox and Rabbit. I got another Fox and Rabbit cut of Dirt Track from Hollis Hands Create. And it is also incredible. So I think they might be my new favorite fabric dyer. Also, Hollis Hands Create is great, so go check out her inventory. Shipping was super, super fast. But I love this. It's just so intense and amazing. So I don't know no plans for what to put on that, but it's going to be incredible, whatever it is. So that was really my only piece of haul. I did some pre-orders with Abby Topknot for 2 of the Needlework Marketplace releases. Let's see if I can remember. I got Liz Matthews, this one. And then, oh gosh, what was the other one? Yeah, I don't remember, so I'll put it in a picture. So those will be coming within the next month. And I will, it's like an Autumn Quaker something I'll put in the name because I have no hope of remembering right now. And I will probably be starting both of those very, very soon after I get them because they're gorgeous. And I'm all about fall right now after we just went through this week of 100+ degree weather. So, okay, that's all the cross-stitch related content I have. Next, I will be talking about crochet, which I kind of went gangbusters on this month. So last time we met, I had almost finished my Granny Ripple Afghan, which, so it's like a Granny Ripple, Granny Zigzag, just Granny Stitch, and the pattern it's not really a pattern, like you can just look it up, and it's very, very easy, very quick, and I finished that. So it's like a twin size blanket, it's pretty big. And then I added tassels, the points. And yeah, so that's done. I used like just random assortment of acrylic yarns that I had in my stash, and then I had to color match because I ran out of some of them, so I had to go back to Joann's and try to find a similar color, which I don't think you can tell. Like, I think I did a pretty good job. They seem to match up. Like, I think I had, those were actually 2 different pinks technically, and these yellows were 2 different yellows, but They look the same. So that was one finish. And then I had another crochet finish. This was a coat that I had started like 2 winters ago. This is a Fisken coat by Wavelengths. And I had all but the sleeve left. I had to modify the sleeves. They were very wide and like unintentionally balloon sleeves, which wasn't what I was going for. So I had to use some decreases there and like troubleshoot the sleeves and the ribbing around the sleeves and the cuff. So I did that and then had to sew on the buttons. So I really didn't have that much left to do of it. But it's made with a bulky weight yarn. I think it's Hue and Me by Lion Brand in the color Fatigues. And I had a blast doing the pockets. Like, they're functional pockets, just so you know. And then like the buttonholes. Wow, this is awkward. The buttonholes are there. There's my phone. And yeah, I had a blast putting the buttons on. Gosh, this is going from bad to worse. And it's nowhere near a season that is seasonally appropriate to wear this, but I think it'll be a great sort of asset to my closet coming up. So I'm looking forward to being able to wear that. And let's see what else I worked on. This is a pattern by Holly Woodward Designs called the Jilly Cardigan. And this is also a pattern or a project that's been in my whip pile for literal years. It's a bunch of granny squares, which I love granny squares, but I've never finished a granny square project in a timely manner. Like, I lose patience with it and just, yeah, my mind goes elsewhere and it gets a little tedious to wrap it up. But here's what I have so far. It's a cardigan, so there's the back panel, there's the front panels, and now I'm working on the sleeves, which I think I have 40 granny squares left to make, and then I just have to do the assembly and the ribbing. You know, that's all. So I was trying to make myself do a granny square a day. That lasted like 2 days. So I don't know if this will even be finished this year, but I did pick it up. I touched it. So that happened. Let's see. I have one more project. I started this past month. I think just within like the last week, actually. This is the Bahama Blouse, and it's a free pattern by Hooked on Homemade. And it's with a cotton weight yarn that I had in my stash. I think it's called Fundamental Cotton. Yeah, by Yarn Bee. Fundamental Cotton in the color beige. And it's a raglan top, so you start with like a yoke and then you join, add sleeves, and like no seaming. It's awesome. Love raglan sweaters. So it's not very exciting. That's what I have for now. Could call it good as a crop top. And I'm excited to do the sort of lace. That's what really excuse me, drew me to the pattern. So the lace around the bottom and then around the sleeves. I think that will be finished up pretty soon too. Okay, last segment is thrifting. I just realized the thing I've been meaning to show you for 2 videos now, I also didn't grab this time, so I'll be right back. I'm back. So this is something I found a month or 2 ago, and it's a cosmetic case, a mustard cosmetic case. My grandma had one exactly like it, except it was tan. And I'm envisioning, like, it has the tray, it has the pouch in there. Like, look at that, there's a mirror. And a little compartments there. So I've seen like floating around all these people doing like the stitchy accessory box that they make out of a jewelry case. I thought I could do that with this, just, you know, large scale. It's like really heavy duty. The handle's really nice. So I'm thinking I could do that potentially. We'll see. If not, it's just cute. So I got that. It's very secure also. Like these locks, they ain't going anywhere. Okay, and the other, I have a follow-up. So last time I shared the mushroom terrarium that I had and my dilemma whether to use real or live plants inside this terrarium. I went the fake route. So I put in some, well, it's real dirt and real sand and a real glare. And then some fake moss and a little fake plant in there. So sits, and it doesn't have to be in a place with sun, so win-win. That was a previous thrifting find, and then I scored at some estate sales this past weekend. I got some quilts. This quilt was $2, and it isn't in the best shape. I mean, it's falling apart in areas, but I don't know if anyone else on TikTok has seen these girls making, and guys, making quilted hoodies or quilted jackets, like out of old worn out quilts. Have I ever sewn? Yes. 10 plus years ago. Have I ever sewn clothes? No. But I had a vision. So this is the quilt, the biggest quilt I got. It's so cute. I love those little red checks. And it's clean. It's just a little ratty. So I got that one, and that's my plans for it. And then I was at an antique store and I found this smaller quilt, but it has a cooler fabrics, cooler sort of pattern. And I envisioned something similar, possibly. Maybe a tote bag? I don't know. This one is in better shape though, so you could just leave it as is, but there are a couple spots where it's like ripping apart or it's a little stained. Yeah, that was exciting. I've been meaning, like in the back of my head, to get into sewing apparently. So add that to the list of hobbies. The other estate sale find was I picked up this cheap little frame. Cheap in price, not in quality. This thing is heavy duty. And it's pretty old, I think, because it says, like, put a postcard there. I mean, who does that anymore? And it has, like, a wooden back, which I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to get off. But I like those oval frames. So add this to the ginormous frame box that I have. I found these really cool, after digging in my crochet pile again, crochet, like, one's a Leisure Arts, one is House of White Birches, whatever that is. Pamphlets, I like collecting those for knitting and crochet patterns. They're fun to look through if nothing else, but I really like that pattern for an Afghan. I like those colors too. This one, it's the same pattern, but I like that colorway. And then this one is specifically scrap yarn Afghans, which that's beautiful. And then there's all these on the back. This is the one I want to do. I talked about it last time, but I have a scrap yarn problem. So this is a great idea for me to implement. So I think I'll be doing this one once I knock off maybe, I have 2 other crochet blankets going at the moment. I should probably finish those first. Some other cute things I saw. These little penguin salt and pepper shakers. They're adorable. Wall of cookie canisters. If anyone is missing their appendage on aisle 4. And then, a new segment. So, cross stitch in the wild, I'm calling it. And then lastly, I went to the Iowa State Fair with my parents. This was the last weekend, and we got to see, you know, all the lovely quilting, knitting, crochet, cross-stitch, embroidery, everything under the sun projects. And this was I believe the grand champion, if that's what it's called. Yeah, that's cross stitch. I thought it was a painting. I thought it like diamond art or something. I mean, you can't even tell that there are stitches there, just in a good way. That just like, it looks so good. No idea what the pattern intro is, but I had to share that. I want to mention thanks to Lisa of Lost in Stitches for shouting me out in her most recent video. I loved catching up with her and her mom. They're so cute together. And then Cam of Cam the Stitcher said some super sweet things about me in her last Flosstube video. And Cameron, if you are still here, I feel the same way. Yeah, every time your videos pop up, it's like a drop everything situation and go watch immediately, if at all possible. So likewise. So yeah, that's all I've got to share with you this time around. I'll be back at the end of next month to talk some more. Maybe I'll be a little less rusty. And until then, I hope you all are enjoying your stitching, and maybe there will be a giveaway next time around, so stay tuned. Thanks.